Guys, they've taken over an abandoned subway platform. Gotta take these guys out, then look around for Sable.
Hey, you wanna know what I've been thinking? Not really. I was thinking... We need an insurance policy.
For what?
So boss said once we take over this Sable business, we all get a cut of the profits.
Yeah.
Well, what if he don't?
What do you mean? He said he would. Boss is good on his word.
Yeah, but what if all this Project Olympus stuff is getting in his head? I mean, he's not even human anymore.
Okay? What's wrong with...
I'm just not sure how many more of these things we can fit down.
Power?
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before the city finds out how we're reaching off the subway. Then what?
Then we'll grease some palms is what. Make sure we're left alone.
Maybe. But there's also the problem of space. I mean, that's
Use some of those digger things to make more room.
not a bad idea. I just wonder if we need more parts down here.
You kidding? Those things are awesome. You get juiced up in there. Come on, feeling like a superhero.
Think we feeling so?
Depends on your perspective. Stop it. Just stop it.
So funny.
Oh, man. No. Just shut up and let me concentrate.
I'll see what's going on.
Boss would also be upset if somebody said they knew how to fix something when they really didn't.
Fine. Why don't you come on over and show me how it's done?
Oh, I never said I knew how to fix it.
Why don't you shut up and let me work?
I just said themselves, seem more important.
You are such a pain in the ass. Somebody there?
Nothing.
See? We're all heroes. Just in different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, let me look at this some more, see if I can figure something out.
That wasn't the wind. Damn birds. Huh? Gotta check it out.
These new shoes.
Something's over there. Go on alert!
Okay, that's all of them. Now, I bet if I follow the power cables, I'll find where they're holding Sable. I should follow the power cables. Looks like they've jacked into the subway's power line somehow. Hope that's not a load-bearing subway car. Nice. Okay, follow the yellow wire. Better not find any lions, tigers, or bears. Oh my. Ah, tunnel's blocked. But I think I can still squeeze through. Body bags? Well, this just took a turn.
Don't remember his name. Sal's cousin, I think.
Was it messy?
Nah, he just came out all blue. I think he stopped breathing in there or something.
Did you hook up the oxygen line like I said?
Yeah. I mean, I think so.
Boss ain't gonna let... Hearing, I think so.
Then forget I said it. And I'll forget you were drinking on the job yesterday.
What do you mean? That was coffee.
Sure didn't smell like coffee.
Gotta do this quick, and then find Sable.
Somebody
They're so cute when they're incapacitated. Mind me. This place looks like their main base of operations. I should have a look around, see what I can learn. XRT-89, Subterranean Troop Deployment Vehicle. That's the real name? I'm sticking with Dig Boy.
Cop almost killed me. I thought you said I'd be indestructible. I said almost indestructible. After all, you're still human. Then make me less human. I'm not sure what you mean. I mean what I said. Now get to work.
So this is where these guys work, huh? No windows, smells like a sewer, psychotic boss. Basically, your typical office job.
All this stuff belongs to Sable? Yeah, most of it's overseas, though. What are you thinking, boss? I'm thinking about how she took over the whole city in a matter of days. You mean back during that Devil's Breath thing? Yeah, that was crazy. Not so crazy when you got the right equipment. Well, we got those digging things. Not good enough. If we want the best stuff, we're gonna need her. Yeah, okay. How are we gonna do that? Just keep taking her stuff. She'll come to us.
Project Olympus. These pods require...
I told you, I just helped manufacture these things. I didn't design them. Guess we got the wrong guy then. On the bright side, now we got our first test subject. No! No! Don't turn it on! Please! Just give me a few minutes. I can figure it out. Now that's what I like to hear.
Sable jetpacks. I'd pay good money to see Hammerhead's guys learning to fly in these things for the first time. No sign of Sable. And I really don't want to check those body bags. Maybe there's still some tunnel I missed. Whoa. If Hammerhead gets his hands on this thing, we're in serious trouble. Sable. Sounds like she's close. There. Huh. The only way out is through. High voltage wires and sewer water. What could possibly go wrong? If there's one takeaway from this underground lair thing, it's that Hammerhead should have fewer thugs with guns and a lot more safety inspectors. Sable. Sounds like she's close. The only way out is through. High voltage wires and sewer water. What could possibly go wrong? If there's one takeaway from this underground lair thing, it's that Hammerhead should have fewer thugs with guns and a lot more safety inspectors.
Every minute I am here is another nail in your coffin. I will never give you what you want.
It'll just...
You came back for me. Why?
Because I need you.
I work alone.
I used to say the same thing. I know what's happening in Symkaria. I know why this means so much to you.
You think you know, but you do not know.
What can I do to make you trust me? Look, I think I know how we can take down that monster, but I can't do it alone.
Damn it! He let her loose!
Okay, here's the plan. Good plan.
Here comes Pain! Don't let him get you! Watch it! They're working together! Boss distance for guard!
Hey, Sable! No lethal force, okay?
Ready, weak, punk!
Kinda nice to have you on my side for once.
Shut up and fight!
You gotta work on your fight banter, though. A dig boy, of course!
Did you say big boy?
Yeah! Way better than the real name, don't you think?
You must teach me how to use it!
I wish I could, but it's a whole big intellectual property thing. Hey, Sable, where did you learn to fight?
On the streets of Symkaria!
Yeah? I learned from watching movies. We should compare notes. That was awesome! High five!
You said you could defeat Hammerhead.
You, know you left me hanging, right?
There are medical records in here.
Yeah, mostly about that metal plate in his head.
Carbon steel.
Super strong, pretty sensitive to...
Heat. I have an idea.
I solemnly swear to do whatever you tell me to.
I will call soon.
Ow. But yeah. Guess I'll do some Spidey work while I wait for Sable's call. Hey, what's that? What's with all the yellow stuff? Is this some weird street artist thing? Police report. Looks like someone was killed during a mugging, but nothing was stolen. What's with the audio recorder?
So, you have some work-related stress. Well, you came to the right place. That's my specialty.
So they tell me.
Give me some more specifics about how you're feeling.
Guess you could say I put a lot of pressure on myself. I like to be the best. Plus, I have a very demanding boss.
Now, what kind of work do you do?
Everything here stays confidential, right?
Of course.
Good. Because if any of this gets out, you're a dead man.
The case file says 1 of 9. There must be more of these out in the city. There's a bunch of GPS coordinates here. I love treasure hunts, but something tells me I'm not gonna find a chest full of gold at any of these places. I think I'm close to another crime scene.
One maniac is something to do whatever he wants. So jump on my car!
Mystery person's calling card.
Hey, Peter. Just letting you know I haven't left the house.
Glad to hear it. What's up?
I've been listening to the police radio, and there's stuff happening all over the city, like constantly.
Pretty overwhelming, isn't it?
How do you do it? I mean, you can't be everywhere at once.
Remember what May used to say? You help someone, you help everyone.
Yeah, but I never really understood what she meant.
Okay. You know that lady that came in to feast the other day with her 2 kids?
The one who just got evicted?
Yeah. After she found a job and was about to move into her new place, she told me, as soon as I get my first paycheck, I'm sending as much as I can back to this shelter.
So we helped her, and now she wants to help others. Helping is like a force multiplier.
Exactly.
May was pretty great, wasn't she?
The greatest. I'm gonna send you an address as soon as I'm done with all this, so stay ready. And bring those web shooters with you.
Finally!
This looks familiar. I think it's the last known location of a Maggia informant who disappeared a few months ago.
I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. I think we should end the session.
Sorry, Doc. I didn't mean to scare you. I've just been paranoid lately. Like I said, stressful job.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about your job. Describe a typical day.
Typical day? Guess it starts with waking up, checking my phone. See what the boss wants me to hit that day. Then I go grab breakfast. I've been trying to do that keto thing, you know? Then I do the hits. Sometimes it's messy, so I gotta head home and clean up. I try to get to the gym in the afternoon, then dinner, and I...
Sorry, can you go back for a moment? What does do a hit mean exactly?
It means I kill who my boss tells me to. I'm pretty good at it by now. Got quite the resume.
This guy sounds like a Maggia enforcer. Feels like this is just part of the story. I should keep an eye out for more scenes like this. I should be close. Whoever's setting up these scenes really likes the color yellow. Another crime report. Let's hear what the recorder has to say.
So what do you think, Doc?
Well, clinically, you're a sociopath. You have no remorse for your actions. You clearly are not stressed. I doubt you think there's actually anything wrong with you. So, why did you really come see me today?
You're smart. I like that. Okay, let's get right to it then. You do what I tell you, and I won't kill your family.
Whoa.
You want to get right to it? Okay then. I know why you're really here. I knew who you were the minute you walked in that door. And I also know that before I do anything for you, you're gonna do something for me.
Well, that took a turn. These crime scenes all feel like covers for Maggia hits. And if the guy on the tape is a Maggia enforcer, maybe he's the one who killed all these people.
I am ready. Meet me at my base.
I've been meaning to ask, how exactly do you have a base in the city that I don't know about? Right, good talk. Why is she always hanging up on me? Maybe she didn't hang up on purpose. Probably just got disconnected. She could be waiting for me to call her back. Or she could be running out of minutes on her cell phone plan. I mean, she's probably doing international roaming. That stuff is expensive. Or maybe she just really needed to polish her pistols. Let's apply Occam's razor. The simplest and most obvious solution is... she hates me. Logic takes the fun out of everything. Lots of police tape and equipment at these scenes. Whoever's doing this must have access to this stuff. Whoever left these wanted me to look closer at these accidents. Someone fell to their death from this ledge. It was ruled an accident. But was it? On the last recording, the therapist turned the tables on the Maggia guy.
Welcome back. Have a seat. So, did you bring the,
Yeah. Hope this takes care of your cash flow problem.
Right. It most certainly does. Thank you. So, I assume you came to me because I have a few police officers as clients.
You assume correct. But my boss and I are only interested in one of them.
And who might that be?
Captain Yuri Watanabe.
Yuri? How is she mixed up in this? I'm afraid of where this story is going. I have to keep following it.
Reports are flying in about an incident in Midtown involving, you guessed it, Spider-Man. It's the same old story, same old menace. But here's a terrifying little wrinkle. My sources tell me that the Maggia crime boss Hammerhead is now gone, and I quote, full cyborg. First we have robotic octopuses, and now a messed up Maggia? Whatever happened to the good old days when criminals would just put on a dime store mask, stick their finger in their pocket, and try to rob a bank? Oh right! Spider-Man happened!
Police ruled this a suicide, but Yuri had her doubts. The victim was part of Hammerhead's crime family. In the last recording, they talked about getting Yuri's mental health records.
Here's Captain Watanabe's file.
This everything?
Yes.
You ever record her sessions?
No, I never record any sessions. That'd be unethical and illegal.
Well, we'd like you to record her next session. And my boss has a list of questions he'd like you to ask. That gonna be a problem for you?
No problem.
I feel like I shouldn't be listening to these, and yet I can't stop. Seems that whoever left these wasn't satisfied with what the police concluded. Getting closer. I hope whoever's leaving these has a good reason. There's a report and recorder. remember Yuri telling me about a drowning here. She was suspicious because the victim was a competitive swimmer. All of these reports are from the last year or so. But last month, Yuri assigned herself to all of these cases. Was Yuri the one who left all those recordings?
Okay, Yuri, let's move on. Have your obsessive thoughts about the suspect continued?
Yes. Sometimes I feel like I've almost got him. And sometimes I feel like I'll never get him.
Are you doing your breathing exercises?
Trying to.
But...
I know who he is. I know where he is. And I know what he's done. But I can't do anything. Not without legally admissible evidence.
That must be frustrating.
You have no idea.
Seems like Yuri's hunch is that the guy on the tape is the guy that killed all these people. I think she might be right.
This is it, folks. This is the big one. I finally have proof. For years, I have asked my dear listeners to send in photographic evidence to prove, once and for all, that Spider-Man is directly linked to the very criminals who plague our city. And finally, one brave anonymous caller has delivered the goods. We have clear photos of Spider-Man standing in the immediate vicinity of caches of humanitarian aid. Aid that was intended for Symkaria. And our heroic caller assures me that these very humanitarian caches are being sold on the black market. If I've learned one thing in my years as a world-renowned reporter, it's this. Photos don't lie. Spider-Man has been caught red-handed. No pun intended, puns are for wimps. So what do we do about it, you ask? We wait. We wait for the police to finally wake up and arrest this mass lunatic. At long last, this city is going to finally see that Jameson has been right about Spider-Man this entire time. Not only is he a thief, he's actually stealing vital food and medicine from innocent civilians who are trapped in a war zone. Women and children struggling to survive, hiding each day from a hail of mortars and bullets. Meanwhile, Spider-Man is stealing the very aid that might keep them alive. This is a new low, people. Even I could never have suspected Spider-Man of something this despicable. All we can do now as a city is to sit back and quietly reflect on just how right J. Jonah Jameson really was. Yet again.
I got him!
Love the suit. Seriously, I want one.
There's another police report. I think there was a hit and run here recently. The victim was set to testify against one of Hammerhead's men. But of course, police never found a suspect. On the last one, Yuri sounded frustrated.
You have no idea.
That's it? Yes. I mean, we talked a little bit about her medication, but...
When is the next session?
Why? What are you going to do?
I'm gonna do whatever my boss tells me to do.
Oh no. Are they setting up a hit on Yuri? Gotta get to those other locations. I'm getting close. It has to be Yuri who's leaving all this stuff. Another report and recorder. I almost don't want to listen. I remember this. A person got electrocuted accidentally, but the victim had ties to Hammerhead. Yuri tried, but couldn't find evidence of foul play. These case files are getting more and more recent. This one happened just a few weeks ago.
You seem nervous.
Yeah, well, the chief knew I was working undercover with you. I can't afford to lose my job. Maybe I should be the one doing breathing exercises.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Don't worry. I won't tell if you don't. Also, you're doing great. You're a very authentic-looking doctor.
Thanks, I think.
You think he knows you were wearing a wire?
If he does, he's a hell of a good liar.
He's a Magia enforcer. We know he's a good liar. Question is, does he know he's being lied to?
We'll find out tomorrow, I guess. You sure about all this?
We catch him in the act of trying to murder a police officer, he gets put away for life.
Yuri, what are you doing? I have to find her. I think I'm close to the last crime scene location. Yuri's been here. Now where's the file? I remember Yuri saying this was ruled an accidental death. Food poisoning, I think.
Hey, Captain.
You ready for this?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'm all wired up, on my way to the office. Just picking up a coffee first.
Okay. Drinks are on me when this is done.
Looking forward to it, Captain.
Yuri's suspended, but she still won't give up. Hard not to respect that.
Hi, can I just get a large coffee?
Hey there, Doc. Who's that you were just talking to?
Oh. Hey.
No. Oh, why did I listen to that? Call from an unknown number. Hello?
Hello, old friend.
Yuri?
Meet me at the corner of Madison and 23rd. We need to talk.
Wait, Yuri! Ah, she's gone. With all that's happened to Yuri, she must be beyond hurting. She doesn't do anything without a reason. So why did she lead me on a grisly crime scene tour? She must have a lead on this enforcer guy. It'll be nice to see her. Maybe help her deal with whatever she's dealing with. Wait, what? Yuri, what did you do? That's the Magia enforcer. Dead. And the case files from all his victims. This guy killed all these people. But does that mean he deserved to die? Yuri.
I know what you're gonna say, but just hear me out. The system works most of the time, but there are times when it doesn't. And to me, that's unacceptable. Some people put their trust in fate, or karma, or whatever. But I can only trust me.
You can't kill people, Yuri.
Apparently I can. And you know what? It felt good.
You need to turn yourself in.
For what? I just dispensed justice. True justice. And I restored a little bit of balance to the world.
You're my friend, Yuri. I don't want to come after you.
You do what you have to do, and I'll do what I have to do. Goodbye, Spider-Man.
Yuri! What am I gonna do? This all makes sense now. What Yuri did to Hammerhead. She's been struggling with this for a while. She's always held in her emotions. That must take a toll on her. But she's also the most tenacious and stubborn person I know. This was a bad guy for sure, but killing him? That's too much.
Let's get to work.
So where's this base you talked about? Whoa. Your toys are so much cooler than mine. I love this invisible floating fortress thing, but now that all of New York City has seen it, Hammerhead will probably be here soon.
I am counting on it, so let us work quickly. I have acquired the Class 5 laser array. We need to calibrate it to prevent it from overheating.
Lucky for us, I'm working on my master's in calibration. Let's do this! Okay, what's first?
Pull the housing array into place.
On it. Ah! Whoa, nice laser.
Housing locked.
Done and done.
We are not done.
Oh.
We must reset the targeting field aerials.
Sure thing. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exit the hangar and navigate to the top of the nearby transmitters.
Alrighty. So, we should talk about the strategy with Hammerhead, don't you think?
What is there to talk about?
Find him. Then focus the laser on the plate in his head. The laser will heat the carbon steel to critical temperature, which will rearrange its molecular structure.
And soften it so I can knock him unconscious. I get that part, but how do you know it won't, melt his brain?
When the wolf attacks the sheep, he risks getting shot by the shepherd.
Okay, well, Shepard, just remember my no-killing rule, okay? Done. How's it look?
Systems appear functional. Now we must test the targeting and power levels.
Cool. Wait, this doesn't involve shooting me, does it?
Not yet. But I do need you to launch those targets.
Right. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Bombs away! Hit it! Pull!
Just a few more.
Cool with me, this is fun! Here comes another one! Nice shot! Is this how modern militaries teach shooting? Oh, can we do one more? Please?
You are a child.
Yeah, well, we're all children on the inside. Whoa!
Come back. We have one more thing to do.
On my way.
We must adjust the gyroscopic navigation stabilizer in order to compensate for the weight of the laser. Go to that terminal and wait for me to activate the system. System ready.
I'm going in. Okay, that should do it.
You two teaming up now? Cute. But it ain't gonna do no good.
Sable? Use a little help here!
The laser is down.
Can you fix it?
I am trying.
Okay, I'll just do the hammerhead waltz for a bit. Okay, time to get personal.
I just want to thank you for showing me what I've been doing wrong for years. If I want to rule this city, I gotta modernize, evolve. Now that I'm involved, it's time for me to be the boss I always should have been. Just as soon as I kill you both. Look at me!
Sable, what's your status?
Laser is back online.
Now I can get in close.
think you're hurting me? Ha! Nothing hurts me no more! Let's see you dodge this! You fight good, but not as good as me! Keep trying, keep failing! I'm indestructible! I'll fetch you up! What the?
Can't let him hit me! Got a headache yet?
Still no respect. What's it gonna take?
You know what I respect? A guy who knows when to quit.
Commencing bombing run.
Damn, I missed.
Keep them coming. I'll make sure the next one hits.
I dropped the bomb. You throw them at him.
Love your tech, Sable. Too bad I gotta use it to take you out.
Yes! The shield's too strong. I need to disable it first.
You're going down!
Do not let him hit you.
Yeah, try it!
Coming your way, bug!
Well, gadgets won't work. He's disabled. Now's my chance. Give up now, before I really hurt you!
You two got skills! I give you one chance! Join my crew, or die!
I'll take what's behind door number 3. He's quick. I gotta be quicker.
Commencing bombing run. Use the bomb to disable his shield. You listen. Do not let him use his head. Coming in. Get ready.
My webs can't penetrate his shield. Man, he's fast.
You think you're going? chance. Join my crew or die.
I'll take what's behind door number 3.
Incoming.
Okay, time to get...
Eat this! Love your tech, Sable. Too bad I gotta use it to take you out.
Good work. Now hit him.
I'll break your fucking jaw.
Okay, now!
Locking in.
Yay, teamwork!
Now hit him.
You're gonna regret that.
Nah, but you will.
Let's see you dodge this.
Can't let him hit me.
Use the bomb.
His shield's down.
Coming your way, bug. Die, bug!
Yay, teamwork!
You're going down!
Shoot him!
I am trying. Oh, fuck no. The laser is down. Wait. I have an idea.
Can't wait much longer!
Hold him!
Then what?
Get ready to jump!
Wait, what? That was fun. Hey, you have dinner plans? I know this great pizza place.
I must return to Symkaria.
Right. You have a war to fight.
I do not like to fight. Do what I have to in order to help my people.
I know. That's what heroes do.
I am no hero. But you have taught me a few things.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Like how to disarm my enemies with bad jokes.
Actually, they're good jokes, but I understand humor can be subjective.
Thank you, Spider-Man. For everything. I don't do hugs.
Yeah, right. Of course. Hey, can I get a lift back to the city? I'd swim, but it'd take forever to get the river smell out of my suit. Ready?
I think the web shooters are a little tight.
Get used to it. Just try to keep up. Okay, Hammerhead's finished. But his men are still out there. A spider's work is never done.
Attention units. Armed assailants are attacking a disabled Sable transport. Reported location is in the vicinity of Nomad.
Today is a fine day in New York City. At long last, Hammerhead has been taken down for good. Cyborg parts and all. I will even give Spider-Man and Silver Sable an ounce of credit. They did, after all, land the final kill. However, while the mainstream media trips over itself to heap lavish praise on these vigilantes, allow me to give you a dose of facts. Hammerhead would have never gotten this far had it not been for Silver Sable leaving behind all her gear in the city. And don't get me started on Spider-Man stoking the fires of a gang war and forcing a decorated police captain into administrative leave. So sure, they cleaned up the mess, but they were also the ones that made it.
Why don't you sit this one out?
Business. You're going down.
Hold it back up!
Somebody call for backup!
Can you guys tell the next bunch to bring some snacks? Getting a little hungry.
What the hell?
I don't know how much longer the door's gonna hold!
Nothing like taking down a bunch of criminals to brighten your day.
Thanks, Spider-Man. That was a close one.
progress of 2 stolen APCs. Reported location is Murray Hill.
It's Spider-Man! Now we're really gonna have some fun with this thing. Get him off there!
Okay, that's it. You guys are on a timeout. Just when you think you've run out of hammerhead guys.
Here comes the rain!
You're lucky I found you before Silver Sable did.
Garrett! Call my doctor and double all my prescriptions! I'm in the red here, folks. Eyewitnesses have confirmed that there is no longer just one Spider-Man, but 2 of them! I mean, one is bad enough, but I'm having a hard time dealing with the idea of multiple menaces swinging through our beautiful city. It's just... Jared, I might be having a heart attack. I need to lie down, folks. No, don't call an ambulance. It's so expensive. Call a cab. I have a coupon in my wallet. Don't go in my wallet, Jared. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Looks like a shipment to Symkaria. Better get it back on track.
How to get past our lookout?
You guys don't need more guns! And you definitely don't need the food!
Bring him back to Earth!
Hopefully that shipment will still be able to make it to Symkaria safe and sound.
Thanks, Spidey. We would have lost it all without you.
All units, a transport with Sable gear has been disabled. Additional officers needed in Times Square. Over.
Why would Hammerhead goons be trying to get into that Oscorp truck?
Leave me alone.
You guys looking to get cool tech for cheap? You should just wait for Black Friday like everyone else.
Spider-Man, help!
I'll put you in.
Watch out! They took more guys. We're on the way.
Somebody call for backup!
You better run.
Stay back, please!
Look up, you moron.
Can you guys tell the next bunch to bring some snacks? Getting a little hungry. These guys sure are serious about stealing Sable tech. Well, they're serious about everything, to be honest.
Spider-Man, I don't care what others say. You're a hero.
We've got it from here, Spidey. This tech isn't going anywhere.
Thanks, Spider-Man. We'll take it from here.
Boom!
Pew, pew, pew!
10-8. Officers are pursuing a truck containing dangerous equipment. Reported location is near the theater district.
Make sure you're buckled up, because it's about to get a little rough. This is where you get off. These guys were either really desperate or really dumb. Maybe both. of Manhattan! We really need to talk about rocket launcher reform.
Maja have disrupted a shipment of Sable equipment. Officers needed in the East Village.
Looks like that Oscorp truck could use my help. You guys looking to get cool tech for cheap? You should just wait for Black Friday like everyone else.
Trying to break in! There's more guys coming!
Out of the way! Spider-Man's here! Get more guys!
Can't lose anyone out! Say that! Please! I don't know how much longer the door's gonna hold!
Hammerhead's got a lot of guys on his payroll.
Boss says this guard! Look out! Don't let him pick off any more of us! Damn door!
You guys just don't know when to quit, which is kinda sorta admirable.
They're at the door again!
I'll get the door! You get Spidey! What the hell?
Don't let him pick off any more of us!
Can you guys tell the next bunch to bring some snacks? Getting a little hungry.
I'm gonna end this.
cardio in for the day.
Clear the scene!
Thanks for the assist, Spider-Man.
Thanks for holding down the fort, Spider-Man.
Attention units. Maggia has seized 2 Sable APCs. Location is north of Houston. Over.
Okay, that's it. You guys are on a timeout. Better get out of here before Jameson starts accusing me of Grand Theft Auto.
Get out of here, Spider.
Looks like the police could use my help. Let me guess. You guys are in love with the police, and you're just playing hard to get. Everybody, out! More Hammerhead goons? I've definitely earned an Eddie's Pie after this. These guys were either really desperate or really dumb. Maybe both.
These guys are gonna get what's coming to them.
A tanker with hazardous materials has been seized by Maggia. Officers near Bowery, please respond.
Those guys are threatening to blow that fuel truck. And the entire block. You guys didn't really think this one through, did you?
Stay out of this, Spider-Man!
Gotta keep my eye out for these transports. Hammerhead's guys are getting creative.
We had the situation under control. Seriously, I want to.
Can't we talk without rockets? I'm ready for a vacation. Somewhere tropical, no rockets.
All units, a supply truck carrying stable equipment has gone dark. Need immediate response at Union Square.
Looks like a shipment to Symkaria. Better get it back on track.
Get more cops coming. I'm Spider-Man. Take him out.
You guys don't need more guns, and you definitely don't need the food. People in Symkaria need these supplies. Hopefully they'll get shipped out soon.
If I ever see James... Thanks, Spidey.
Officers in pursuit of stolen Sable ordnance. Location is Little Tokyo. Over.
Hammerhead thugs stealing Sable tech. Just like bees and honey. Wait, which one's the bee and... I'm good with science, but not metaphors. Is that a simile? Yoink!
Now's our chance! Get him!
Where do all these Hammerhead guys get their suits?
I'll crush you!
These guys were either really desperate or really dumb. Maybe both. Whoa! How about we don't blow up half of Manhattan? Who brings rockets to a spider fight?
suspects in stolen APCs. Officers needed in Little Italy.
Aw, you guys get me a present? Hope you got a gift receipt.
Did you kid him? Stop!
Okay, that's it. You guys are on a timeout.
He took out the bullet!
Just when you think you've run out of hammerhead guys. You're lucky I found you before Silver Sable did.
Dispatch, pursuit resolved. Securing suspect's vehicle now. Suspects with stolen Sable gear. Location is Seaport. Please copy.
Hammerhead thugs stealing Sable tech. Just like bees and honey. Wait, which one's the bee and... I'm good with science, but not metaphors. Is that a simile?
Get the hell out of me! Later, Spidey!
A lot of fuel. They probably want it for all those jetpacks. Gotta end the standoff quick. You guys didn't really think this one through, did you? transports. Hammerhead's guys are getting creative.
Attention units. Armed assailants are attempting to seize Sable equipment. Need officers on scene in the financial district.
Oscorp truck getting harassed over there. If only you guys put this much effort into your fashion choices!
Spider-Man, help! There's more guys coming!
I'm gonna end this.
I'm going for the door! Spider-Man! That's it, I'm calling more guys!
We're losing guys. Let's
What the? Ah,
Please! I don't know how much longer the door's gonna hold!
too many men down.
damn door!
You guys just don't know when to quit, which is kinda sorta admirable.
Hey! I didn't move!
I'll break your friggin' jaw.
They're at the door again!
Pick up any more of them!
I can handle this, Cloud. What the hell?
Stay with Spider-Man! I'm working on the door!
These guys sure are serious about stealing Sable tech. Well, they're serious about everything, to be honest.
Spider-Man, I don't care what others say. Cure is cure.
My friends, the Rhino and the Scorpion are back behind bars. But only after wreaking unimaginable havoc in a reckless rampage with Spider-Man. Hopefully, they'll never see daylight again. But we need to be ready if they do. Normal humans can't stand against the likes of the Rhino. So, here's my proposal. You've heard of police dogs, right? Now bear with me. We train, outfit, and deploy police rhinoceroses. You got a rhino? We got a rhino too, baby!
Gotta hurry and defuse those bombs. Noisy, but harmless. Okay, one more. Not gonna lie, feeling pretty good about myself right now.
You need directions?
Shotgun high five!
It's him! Get a picture!
Can I get an autograph? Are you hurt? Spider-Man!
Huh.
Oh.
How'd she be tall?
No, you cannot shave the cat. Hi,
You okay?
I don't know. Minute! Got one for my kids. You got some competition. Look out.
New profile pic. You're the man!
For my blog?
Yeah, you are! Seriously, I want one. New profile pic.
All units, civilians need help at the scene of a car accident. Any officers near Madison, proceed to the crime scene.
Pedestrian trapped under that vehicle. Hang on! Thugs who caused the wreck are down, but people are still trapped.
Thought I was dead.
Just a little more!
Thank you. Thank you.
I think that debris is trapping someone inside that car. I've got you. Stay calm. Okay, people are safe. I should clear out so the professionals can get in.
Mark your calendars, folks, because I'm going to say something you thought you'd never hear from me. Spider-Man got it.
Saving the city again. Was that like a dozen times now?
Superheroes, bozos blocking sidewalks.
Kill
Pressure on hood!
Don't you guys watch horror movies? Splitting up is always a bad idea.
Thank you so much.
I knew Jameson would fail.
All officers on alert. Kidnapping was just reported. Report came in from Lenox Hill.
I'll set my earpiece to focus on muffled voices. Not much to go on, but the kidnapping victim must be close.
Hey, record this! Before the guys who did this come back!
Hold on, I'll get you out.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Spider-Man. Oh, man, there they are! Get him, Spidey!
Thank you. There will be no encore, as all the kidnappers are unconscious. I've got to ask you to leave the store. Hoped crime would decline post-Fisk. Might have been too optimistic. cops are coming. I've been on worse terms with them, but why take chances?
Attention local units. A break-in is reportedly in progress. Officers near Sutton Place. Be on alert.
Wild guess. Those guys breaking in don't live there.
Gotta start over. Can't too. That's what I'm doing. You want to stick around? Be my guest. Hey, he's busy with the big guys.
Yeah, but sooner or later, that will up.
Heavy ordnance.
Watch it. Man, Fisk goes away and suddenly it's amateur hour.
Here goes down.
Pro tip. If you're not good at breaking or entering, maybe don't pull a B&E.
Folks, I'm hearing a lot of praise for Spider-Man lately, and I'm not saying it's entirely unwarranted. He did listen to me after all, and did the right thing in the end. But dial it back, will ya? I can tell it's going to his head. Look at him. The wisecracking, the grandstanding, swinging around the city like he owns it. This is not his city, it's mine. I mean ours.
Hey, Uncle Ben. Miss you. Doing my best to make you proud.
Alright, what's up everybody? I was silent for like the last 2 hours. But just got Platinum Trophy. Believe it or not, that's actually the first Platinum Trophy I've gotten.
I better stop them before they end up in driver's ed videos.
Just pull over, you nut job! We are a peaceful people!
Well, at least you're not texting. Well, that's just rude. Yeah.
Come off!
More of them? For criminals, these guys have an impressive social circle.
Finally, a real fight! Bring it!
Glad I stopped that. Too many crazy drivers in the city as it is.
Take it from here, Spider.
Alright, so I've pretty much got everything. I know the only thing that I'm missing that I'm aware of is the, I think, I have to use like a suit power to, I don't know, take a picture of other locations. And when you do all of those, you unlock one more outfit, but I don't feel like doing all that. Because I'm pretty satisfied with what I unlocked so far, and getting my first Platinum Trophy. So fortunately this game wasn't really too bad, trying to Platinum. It probably would have been worse trying to unlock all the challenge tokens had I not done the DLC, which had additional challenges in them. But yeah, 100%. Nice. I'm missing a trophy here and here, which has to do with Screwball, but I don't care. And then there's trophies for New Game Plus. One for complete a New Game Plus playthrough, and then the other complete playthrough on Ultimate Difficulty. Alright. Anyways, yeah, so I'm not gonna do New Game Plus Ultimate. I might do a New Game Plus. But I might just do story missions, and that's it. I should do that one of these days, like sometime very soon. You know, I am pretty Spider-Man'd out with this game, so I might just take a small break from it, and then one of these days I'll go back into it. And yeah, I just want to do the New Game Plus, but I'm just gonna do the story mission. I don't know. I haven't decided how I want to play that out. Overall, yeah, like finally did it. So, you know, I have a plethora of suits anyway, so one extra that's not associated with a power or anything ain't gonna bother me. So, overall, I guess like to kill some time because I didn't expect to be done this early. Well, not this early, it's still kind of late, but so to give my final thoughts on the game, it's definitely a good game. Definitely recommend it to people, especially if they're Spider-Man fans, comic book fans, you know, just fans of this type of action. But just like a dude from the other day, Matty Marrero, I think his name was, but I haven't seen him again since I beat the game. But when he asked me for basically a numerical value to this, like I gave it 7 out of 10. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Alright, so gave it a 7 out of 10. Mostly because there was just a lot of little issues with the game. Controls were mostly pretty good, but you know, with Spider-Man games, no matter who you are, like controls are always an issue. Aside from stuff like that, there's like just little annoyances like the game's chase sequences. For some reason, everyone is like the Flash, you know, and Spider-Man is, you know, supposed to be one of the more faster characters who isn't like a speedster or anything like that, and every chase sequence is a problem. But those are like really minor things. The major issues, if we would call it that, is the main story of the game. For most of it, especially if anything, maybe like the Mr. Negative part of the game, that could have served more as like a subplot to the game. It didn't feel like it was good enough to take, you know, up the main plot of the game, and the main plot of the game really didn't pick up in its story till very close to the end of the game. And then there was this pattern of every time you do like a couple of story missions, you unlock a bunch of side quests or collectibles or whatever to do. And these are all things that, you know, just to distract you from the main story and realizing that this is actually a pretty short game if it wasn't for all the side stuff that is available to you. And basically, as far as that type of side stuff goes, or just things in general, this game is like every Spider-Man game that I've ever played. There's like so many things that I've seen taken from other Spider-Man games we've even already had a Spider-Man game that tried to be an Arkham ripoff, and that was the first Amazing Spider-Man game. So, but regardless, though, aside from, you know, frustrations here and there, overall, like, I enjoyed playing the game. I enjoyed playing as Spider-Man. You know, some of the things that they did with this game, especially like the gadgets. You know, what they did with the gadgets is something that's really new. You know, like they gave you, you know, quite a varying list of gadgets to use, even though for the most part I was using Web Bomb, and then towards the end there I was using the suspension and stuff more. But the other ones are still like very, you know, they can be very useful. So, you know, so that in itself was kind of cool. You know, also having like the skill tree here, things like that. But you know, overall, like, it was a cool game. Definitely one of the better Spider-Man games. I don't think it's quite the I mean, I'm sure like a lot of people will say this is the best one, especially for like technical reasons and things like that, but I think for me, my favorite and still the best, just because it's like a more complete package, is the Ultimate Spider-Man game that came out PS2 years ago. It may not have, you know, those games, and maybe some of the earlier Spider-Man games may not have the you know, the combat engine quite like this. But especially something like the Ultimate Spider-Man game, it at least, you know, aside from all the side stuff you can do, it definitely had like a great main plot where you can alternate from playing as Spider-Man and Venom. You know, and that should always be cool. But overall, for the most part, that's my thoughts. This is definitely stuff for them to deal with as far as like sequels goes, because you know there's going to be sequels, and we'll see where they go from here. But every good sequel, you know, makes improvements on the game, and I hope that's what happens. I'm pretty sure, I could double check, but I'm pretty sure like I even put this game on like the easiest difficulty, because I just want to enjoy the story. And no, there was like some difficult parts for me, and it's like, you know, I feel bad for people who are less skilled than me who really want to play this game, and there's going to be parts where it's like, you know, they might have to really, really try on to beat it. You know, they may have to take several tries, things like that, even though technically nothing like that happened to me. I just something that I just think about, you know, just that casual gamer who doesn't really play games like these, you know, heard this game is amazing, and it really is, but then they have to struggle with some of the gameplay parts to it. So for things like that, like, it is kind of a shame. It's like, as a gamer, we expect these things to happen, and then for us to try to deal with them, and but not everyone's like that. You know, they might play this game, get to the Shocker chase sequence, and then maybe give up because that chase sequence is ridiculous. Especially since by the time you do the Shocker sequence, like, you don't have any of your traversal upgrades yet. So, other than that, I figured we go through the suits one more time before I call it a night. So then you might be asking, what am I going to be doing after this? And like, I guess I'll get to that after I go through these. So here we have the what's called the advanced suit, which is the suit specifically made for this game, for this Spider-Man in this universe. And we'll be seeing the Spider-Man and this suit in Spider-Geddon in the comics, which is basically the sequel to Spider-Verse. We then have the classic suit, which is all damaged up and everything, happens in the intro to the game, which leads to the advanced suit. Then we have the classic suit repaired and full, so you can see it very much is the classic suit all the way. Doesn't even have that cinematic quality stitching to it. It's just the plain old suit. Alright, so then we got the Noir suit, which is from the Noir universe that takes place, I think, in like the 1920s or 30s. Maybe 40s. No, I think it's like 20 or 30s, something like that. And in that universe, this is what that Peter Parker wears. You see he has a gun on his holster. It'd be cool if there had an ability where he'd use that. But yeah, he shoots people and kills people, and that's okay. But his thing is mostly stealth. He's actually shown up in a past game. In the game Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, he's one of the 4 Spider-Men that you play as in the game. And his levels are very stealth oriented. Like, they will very much remind you of the Arkham games, I believe, because I think when Shattered Dimension came out, Arkham games started coming out. Yeah, it did. So his part of the game, like this, because of the stealth part of it, like it really reminds you of the Arkham games, if I'm not mistaken. And then we got the Scarlet Spider suit, which looks really cool. In the comics, like, it's not this detailed or anything. So it's cool that they did it for this. Scarlet Spider, without getting into the whole story, is basically one of the clone Peter Parkers. And he took up the mantle of Scarlet Spider. Then got Spider Armor MK Suit 2. And all honesty, I don't know where this is from, but he's had quite a few of these armored suits. But if I'm not mistaken, they're usually like one-offs. Like, he'll use it maybe that one time or something, and then we'll never see it again. So a lot of these suits, if you're wondering like where the fuck did these suits come from, I don't remember him having some, like, keep in mind that a lot of these suits either lasted for a very short time, or they were like one-offs, or another character wore it. So like, Scarlet Spider, you may not have seen, you may be like, when did Spider-Man wear that? He didn't. A clone did. Or it could be from, another universe, stuff like that. Secret War suit. This was the suit I believe he wore when him and I think the Avengers or New Avengers, whoever the fuck it was, had broken into or snuck into Latveria. You know, Doctor Doom's digs. And this is the suit he wore. Kind of weird here, like, you know, the way this big spider looks like here, but whatever. Then you have what's called the Stark suit, which is from the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. What's cool is that, especially as far as the recent suit goes, and by recent I mean maybe since 2014 up. So it's really cool is that a lot of these suits have been appearing in this game. So you have a lot of suits where this is the first time that they're being shown. Kind of makes me wonder what they're gonna do for sequels, because I'm sure there's gonna be like little suits that they can do, like the suit he has for the sequel to Homecoming. Which is you know, Far From Home. Sorry about that. Alright, so I mean, as far as sequels goes, from here till whenever that game comes out, I'm sure, you know, they can use the suit from Spider-Man Far From Home. And then in the comics there might be some, like, you know, little one-off or obscure outfits he'll have. Since we have the second Spider-Verse story, that's an opportunity to put more suits into the game. You know what? Believe it or not, there's actually a lot of suits left. Like, I know in this game, you see the amount of suits and it's like, wow, that's a lot. That must be almost everything. And it's a good amount of almost everything, but, you know, there's still suits I could think of off the top of my head that's basically unaccounted for here. So, you know, we have the Spider-Mans from the different universes. So basically, Spider-Mans that showed up in, like, Spider-Verse, stuff like that. You know, there's no Miles Morales suit, there's no symbiote suit, there's no Ben Reilly Spider-Man suit, there's no Future Foundation suit, there's none of the suits from the time Spider-Man was wanted for murder and he changed up his identity 4 different ways. So none of those suits made it. You know, the suit from the first Amazing Spider-Man. I think I said Future Foundation suit, right? Oh, no Captain Universe outfit. So, believe it or not, there is still, like, a lot of suits that they can add for sequels. Oh, Spider Carnage. So, like I said, there's a lot of outfits that they can add for sequels. So, like, I'm not concerned. Moving on, we got the Negative suit, which I don't think, maybe it showed up in the comics because, you know, from him dealing with Mr. Negative, but other than that, they could have just made it just for the heck of it. So looks cool. Electrically insulated suit. I assume he uses to fight the Electro. I've never actually seen this suit. I've never seen this before. Then we got Spider-Punk, who's from Spider-Verse. I actually really like his outfit. He has little sneakers, jacket, and the spikes on his head. Wrestler suit. Basically, you know, when he was starting out, has a little wrestler suit when he was trying to make money wrestling. This is the Fear Itself suit. It's very glowy. But I don't know much about this suit. I don't know why he had a suit like this. I don't, you know. Stealth, big time suit. Not really sure what's up with the suit. Spider armor, MK3 suit. Again, not too sure what's up with this suit, but it looks very like Arkham Knight-ish to me, almost. But it really makes him look like the Red Hood in this one, the way his helmet is. So then we got Spider-Man 2099 black suit. So basically this is Spider-Man 2099. Then we got the Iron Spider suit, which was used in Marvel from the Avengers Infinity War. Velocity suit. Looks very Iron Man-y. But I'm not too sure where the suit comes from. I've never seen this before. Spider Armor Mark IV suit. This is the suit that he wore when he used to have Parker Industries for that little while. Spirit Spider, to be completely honest, not too sure on his story. I know he comes from like this is a Spider-Man from a different universe where basically the same things happened to him, except Uncle Ben didn't die. And because Uncle Ben didn't die, it led him towards some type of dark path that led him into this shit. You know, so I'm not too sure about the detailed story at all, but that's all I know. Spider-Man 2099 white suit. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is supposed to be a robot who's bad, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I thought this suit looked very cool. The vintage comic book suit. You know, the way like it's animated, and it's cool that there's a few of these outfits where they're kind of like cel shaded a bit, and they look really cool. And it's one of those things that kind of makes you wish like they made the game in this style. But it's very much like the classic suit. Looks like, you know, straight from the comic book. Last Stand suit. Not too sure what the deal with the suit is, but you know, I like the jacket he's wearing, and he's wearing jeans and stuff like that, so you know, I kind of like the look. Then you got undies. You know, you basically see him wear this in the game, but it's also kind of a nod to all the times that he was either in a mask and underwear. You know, so that's definitely not something that's exclusive to this game. Next we got the homemade suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. Anti-Ox suit, which is a suit that was also made for the game that you use for the final fight against Doc Ock. The Dark suit, which looks like a really cool outfit. At first I thought it was something that was inspired by Agent Venom's outfit from when he was with the Thunderbolts, but nah, it's actually an outfit that he wore in an issue of Spider-Man and Deadpool, where Deadpool kills Peter Parker, not knowing that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and then Deadpool goes and makes a deal with Mephisto So then Spider-Man comes back, but then he comes back with this suit, and he's like darker and whatever, and yeah. But I think it just lasted that issue or two maybe, and that was it. Resilient suit, no idea where this is from. Spider UK suit, Spider UK is from another universe. He shows up in Spider-Verse. Same thing with Spider-Punk. Scarlet Spider 2 suit, and definitely for sure if not my favorite suit in the game. Usually my favorite suit when the couple other times it's shown up in games, which isn't much because it's kind of years ago, but so again, without going into the hoopla, the Scarlet Spider 2 suit is worn by another clone of Peter Parker, so not to be confused with the clone that wore this suit. This was a completely different clone who then started going by Scarlet Spider, but went with like a completely different suit. It's a really badass suit, and it's only shown up a couple of times. So for like the Amazing Spider-Man games, since before this one, those were like the most recent games, this suit would show up in those games, and I would definitely use it. And I like the little touches that they did with the suit, because normally the suit is just plain black up top and plain red in the bottom, so I'm appreciating, all the lines and stitching that they, these little details that they did. Spider Armor Mark 1. This one I'm actually familiar with, because this is the armored suit that he made to fight the Lizard one time. It showed up for like an anniversary issue, like I don't recall the issue number, but maybe it was like 200, 250, 300, somewhere around there. So it was definitely like a cover outfit. Then we got the Iron Spider armor, which looks kind of way better here than it did in the comics. Yeah, and the Iron Spider suit shows up in the comics. Spider-Man wears it during Civil War when he sides with Iron Man. Iron Man hooks him up. The Spider Clan suit is actually from manga Spider-Man, who's from another universe. Or I think he's part of like a Spider Clan or something. Aaron Aikman armor. I don't even know who Aaron Aikman is, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe he shows up during Spider-Verse. But it looks like a really cool suit, though. Looks very anime inspired, I think. Got like rocket things. So then we got the Cyborg Spider-Man suit, which I think I believe is from Spider-Man and Deadpool, so this is like another one-off outfit that's here. If anything, you know what he really reminds me of? This is gonna be a weird reference for anyone who listens to this later on, but Super Patriot. I know it's supposed to be more of a nod towards, Cable, perhaps, but, he reminds me more of Super Patriot. Then we got the Into the Spider-Verse suit. So you can see it looks... So you can see it very much looks like, you know, slightly animated, like the movie it's from. So, and of course it's the classic suit. So, yeah, we have a few of these, but, you know, because we can't have enough of the classic design, we got, well, what's called here is the web suit. Not sure why this one has to be called that, but really we know this from the Raimi series of Spider-Man movies. This is practically the suit he wore in all the movies. Didn't even, well, aside from the third one where, you know, he had the symbiote suit, granted it's still the same design. But no, he actually had the same exact suit throughout all the movies, and there's nothing wrong with that. In the other movies, they've been changing the suits up like every time he shows up. So in the first Amazing Spider-Man, like, he had like a completely different suit, and then when they made the sequel, he had like the traditional Spider-Man outfit. When we see Spider-Man in Civil War, he's wearing the homemade, you know, apparently he had his own homemade outfit, but then Tony Stark made him the, you know, a new suit. They shows up in Civil War, and then we see that same suit in Homecoming, as well as his homemade suit. And then he has the spider armor for Infinity War. In the sequel to Homecoming, he's gonna have like his he's gonna have another suit. So yeah, as far as the other movies goes, they've been changing up suits like every time he shows up. With the Raimi movies, he never changed the suit. Like, it was always the same suit. But yeah, and this was actually free with a update, so I guess that's cool. Everything else up to here is all in the main game. Actually, no, I'm lying, because some of this stuff came from pre-order, or because I got the deluxe edition, or whatever the fuck. So I don't know which is which. At one point in time, I would, like, I'm assuming these two were purchased, and then I think Noir and Spider-Punk, and that might be it. But other than that, I'm not positive. But so up to here is, you know, they can all be acquired in the main game. These three are from the Heist DLC. These three are from the Turf Wars DLC, and then the next three is from the Silver Lining DLC, and this is just free for downloading the update. But it's definitely like an impressive list of suits that they have. I'm pretty sure there isn't another Spider-Man game out there that has this many unlockable suits. There have been other Spider-Man games where you do unlock other outfits. You know, some games, some more than others, but this is by far, I think, the most alternate suits that I've seen in the Spider-Man game. which is pretty cool. They're still missing a lot, but I'm sure that's all for like sequels and stuff like that, because I'm sure we'll see a return of a lot of these suits, if anything. And then along with like whatever other ones they manage to put in. Yeah. So I'm done. I think I'm just gonna be done with this game in general. I was thinking about doing like a new game plus, but then just doing story missions, but I don't think so. If anything, I might save doing a new game plus closer to when the sequel for the game is gonna come out. Other than that, so a couple of things I'm gonna take care of before I move on to the next big project I've been wanting to work on, but just I couldn't, so I don't know how things are gonna turn out. But first off, so the first thing that I'm going to take care of next is I'm going to finish up on WWE 2K18. I do have 2K19, but I'm not going to be starting it yet. But then I will move. But I have to finish the first Dragon Age that I started, so I really want to get that out of the way. I won't be playing its sequels or anything, not immediately. But once I complete those two games, which I'm hoping will be before the end of the year, my plan over the next month is to play Resident Evils, leading up to the Resident Evil 2 remake. The way that's going to work is I'm actually going... It depends. It depends on how much time I have until Resident Evil 2 remake comes out. But my plan originally was I was going to play Resident Evil's... the originals, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. And then play Resident Evil 0, then play the remake of 1, then play the remake of 2. And then if I was going to continue with the Resident Evils, then, I would have played, the Code Veronica and Resident Evil 4, the Revelations games, and then, Resident Evils 5 and 6, and I think there's at least a couple other side games in there that I was going to play. I don't know. It all depends on the timing, but in the interest of time, I may just have to play Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1, and then leading up to the Resident Evil 2 remake, and yeah. So then, but after the remake though, after I beat Resident Evil 2 remake, I'm not going to be playing the other Resident Evil games. If anything, I know they're gonna likely announce Resident Evil 8 one of these days, so I might continue that, like, closer to that, where I'll go and I'll play the other Resident Evil games I just mentioned. Oh, and including Resident Evil 7.